Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Tonight, we continue our video series on disaster preparedness 1 year after Hurricane Helene. I'm here making videos about some of the stuff that worked and some of the stuff that didn't work during the disaster. And I hope you'll follow along with the entire series. But tonight, we're talking about my ideal disaster radio preparedness setup, right? So ideal is going to come in 3 different flavors tonight. Ideal is going to be our basic budget ID, and then we're going to have middle of the road, and then we're going to have, hey, why not have it all? Now, for a lot of my viewers, my regular viewers, this is going to seem pretty rudimentary because we have a lot of these radios. I myself am quite blessed that I have had the chance to play with, own, and review so many different types of radios. But for the average American, buying something that costs $50 or $60 is a big expense. And right now with hyperinflation and the cost of everything going up, it's not easy to put money aside for something that you may never need or that you think you may never need. That said, let's get on. And so for my first pick, if I was going to pick a disaster radio that you would want to have on your home or at your homestead or wherever you may be, it would be a scanner radio. It's just a plain old-fashioned analog scanner radio. When I talked about that a year ago, people were just shocked because they all mentioned that everything had gone to either P25 or digital encrypted and that they weren't able to hear anything in their area. And while that may be true, what we found during Hurricane Helene, and I assume was happening during Hurricane Fran, was that all those companies that were coming up, the firemen and the police and the EMS, were having to now work with FEMA and Samaritan's Purse in our area, and a variety of churches from off the mountain that were bringing supplies up and had to communicate and figure out where these supplies needed to go. And the National Guard came up to help out. All these different units, all these different organizations were all working with different radio systems. And the easiest, simplest way for everyone to connect was on regular old-fashioned business band radios. And so that is what everything reverted back to. And so that's why I say that in an emergency, in a disaster, those $10, $20, $30 scanner radios that are just pure analog are going to come in really handy. It's something you want to put on your list. So there's your basic version. Your middle of the road version might be to spend $50 or $60 to get a trunk tracker type radio system so that if your area still has regular analog transmissions, but they're tracked, you can use that type of a scanner to operate it. And if you want to go all in, like I did after the storm, you'll want to invest in something like this Uniden digital trunk tracker and be able to get pretty much all except for the encrypted conversations that are going on. But the cost difference between a $20 scanner off of eBay and a $350 scanner off of eBay is something that most people just can't rationalize purchasing, and I don't blame you. For me, this is a hobby, this is a passion. Sure, I'm going to spend money if I can afford it and get something like this. It took me almost 6 months after the storm to save up to get this, but I got it. So number one, budgetary, I would go with just a good old-fashioned analog scanner at Radio Shack and Uniden. They're all over eBay, and they can be had for $20, $25 with free shipping. All right, number two, on the basic side, a simple AM, FM radio to have that's battery powered and the batteries to go with it. You're looking at $10 probably to pick something up. Yeah, and that's your basic version. It was crazy to hear that something like 70% of houses do not have an AM or FM radio in their home anymore. They just don't. They might have it in their car, which is great until the battery runs dead or the gas runs out. But now I have one in the car, in the house, and that just blew me away to hear that. So for your basic, if your budget constraints are just an AM, FM radio, probably $11, $12, newer used, eBay or Amazon. And I'll leave the links of where some of this stuff can be found. Middle of the road, you're going to want an AM, FM, and shortwave radio. In my video about radio that was like AM, FM, and shortwave, I mentioned that shortwave really didn't help in either Fran or Helene, and I don't think it would really help going forward in a disaster because most disasters are either local or regional or at the very most statewide, and shortwave really isn't going to be able to help you out in a situation like that. Shortwave is more of a national or global radio wave type thing, but, well, we think things can't happen that are international, but certainly with the way the world is these days, they can. So it's worth, if you can spend the extra money to get something with shortwave, because it may be what makes or breaks some information you're getting in from overseas. All right, and if you want to go all in, then you're going to want to get a shortwave radio that has sideband as well, because that allows you and opens up the whole world of being able to receive all of the ham conversations that are out there. So you're going to get AM, which is going to be your local news source, FM, which is going to be really a diversion by listening to some music. And then you're going to have shortwave, which would be your international stations. And then you're going to have ham transmissions, which are going to allow you to hear what's going on around you with people who are having two-way comms outside of the scanner range, right? Your HF transmission, stuff like that. And that's going to run you, I think, starting at $80. And of course, you can get all the way up into the 300 range when it comes to a really good shortwave. So budget, $10, middle of the road, $30, and high end, well, we'll say 100 just because we don't want to go too crazy. Lastly, and again, 3 versions of the same story. If we're going to have to pick one two-way radio to own, I'm going to have to go with the good old-fashioned CB radio. It's been around for a very long time. There are millions and millions of them used out there, sitting in people's garages, sitting in their basement, or still installed in their vehicles. And because of that, it's the number one pick I have if you want to have a budget two-way communication. FRS and GMRS are going to be the same or cheaper, but they're going to offer you a whole lot less activity when you're actually needing to talk to somebody. So I would go with a two-way radio, a CB radio, just a standard. You don't have to get sideband for it, just a regular AM, don't need to get FM. And those can be had on eBay right now used for $10, $15. If you want a really nice one, $25, $35. But remember, you will also need to get an antenna for that. If we're going to move up from that to a middle of the road, well, then I would add GMRS or FRS two-way walkie-talkies and a pair of those. And that's for not so much talking with the rest of the world or talking with the rest of your town. It's for talking with your neighbors in a way that, well, we don't know. Like, I have a very long driveway. I have a gate on the end of the driveway. Let's say they were handing out water or food and they were driving past, but I wasn't aware of that. If we had someone that was down at the bottom of the gate to notify us that that was going on, well, then we would have come down and we could have taken care of that. But there's other things, like what if there's food drop-off points and we have somebody on rotation from our street because the bridge is gone, because whatever has happened. There's a lot of, the trees are down and somebody has to huff it, several miles to a drop-off point to let us know when that's there so we can all come and pick up our goods. So a set of FRS radios, a little pair, that's going to run you maybe $20, $25 used, maybe $35 new. Move up to GMRS for a little better range, and we're looking at maybe $45 to $75 for a really good set of GMRS two-ways. And there you are. So between the CB and the GMRS, the middle of the road on this one could cost anywhere from $50 to $100. And of course, if we're going to go all in, and I know that a lot of my two-way radio friends that I've made on this channel here over the years will automatically know what the answer is. Have it all, I want to have a 2-meter. I want GMRS, I want CB, I want scanner, and I want a good AM/FM shortwave, and I want an HF transceiver like the ICOM 7300 I have behind me here. That will give you access to the entire world, literally. You can hear it all, and if needed, you can talk to it all. That's it. There's my picks. Again, not as clear cut as one might imagine. There's a lot of choices in those choices, but that depends on your wallet. Believe me, with hyperinflation, I understand how tough it is to save $10 to do anything these days. So I understand that with budgets, you have to think along those lines. You don't need to save up for an ICOM 7300 to be prepared for a storm. You just need to be prepared for the storm you're likely to encounter, not the one that may occur. That's it for that part of the series. Now, next time I see y'all, we're going to get into how I powered all this stuff up. One of the things I do on my channel is solar and off-grid work, and I'm going to split that into a new channel at some point that's going to focus more on what this channel was supposed to be about, which is homesteading. I'm going to talk to you about how it is that we were able to operate pretty proficiently for what it was off the grid. We had an unintended camping trip, that's what I think my neighbor called it when we were talking about Hurricane Helene. We were inconvenienced by an extended camping trip. That's what it felt like. A lot of people around me lost a lot of stuff and then doubled down on losing by not having the ability to get power. So their freezers and their refrigerators and all the contents inside of them went bad. I'll show you in my next part of this series how I went about making sure that everything stayed online. I was able to power this stuff up and talk when I needed to or listen when I had to. And I was definitely able to keep the food from going bad, which was so critical for my wife and I. It keeps the morale up, it keeps the mood up when we still have access to good food or hot or cold beverages. And so that was cool. And of course, the ability to cook, the ability to wash, the ability to do dishes and laundry and stuff like that. So I'll get into that video. It'll take a little while longer than the rest of this series to put out because it is moving into the deep part of winter right now when I'm filming this. And so that is going to be a little harder to poke around, but I'll splice in footage from Helene and the activities that we were doing during that to give you a better idea of how that all played out. I really hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you stick around for the entire thing. I'm enjoying making it. And if you have any requests, I'd love to hear them. Till then, my friends, I'll see you next time. Take care.